Jaron Ennis is a very talented young fighter. Very talented. Switch hitter, power in both hands, speed, technique, just flashiness. He shows a lot of skills. So it seems like he got a lot of tools in the box. Considering how young he is, he comes from a fighting family, so it's in his blood. His manager came out and said that Cameron Duncan, who used to also manage Terence Crawford, came out and said that Jaron Ennis beats Terence Crawford. Welcome to the Pugilist Critic, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in the sport of boxing. Jaron Ennis is ranked, I believe he's ranked number 13 in the WBO right now, maybe 15, but I'm sure he's like 13 or something like that. He's also ranked the same, I think, in IBF. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think Terence Crawford should go ahead and fight Jaron Ennis. If you ask me, I'll say fight him. If you asked me probably about a year ago, I would have said no. The kid ain't ready. He needs to go fight somebody. He needs to do something. But I look at it differently now. You know, maybe I'm just speaking from a fan's perspective. You know, Jaron Ennis, yeah, in reality, he do need to go do something. But I look at it like this. Jaron Ennis is a very, very talented young fighter. I mean, let's be honest. The last time we've seen him, or I've seen him, fight anybody that gave him any type of trouble or resistance was when he lost against Gary Antoine Russell, who is Gary Russell Jr.'s younger brother, in the amateurs. You know, dude turned it into a brawl. It was just an ugly fight for Jaron Ennis. That's the last time I seen him fight somebody that was really going to give him some work. The guy he fought this past weekend on the Clarissa Shields undercard as the co-main event, the dude looked like a blown-up lightweight. Next thing I don't look up is the 4th round. So in reality, Jaron Ennis isn't ready for Terence Crawford. However, who else is Terence Crawford going to fight? You know, who is he going to fight right now? He just fought his mandatory in Kavalaskis, so he has a voluntary. He should go ahead and volunteer Jaron Ennis, or maybe even Virgil Ortiz, since he's rated number 3 in the WBO. Danny Garcia is number 1, by the way. But who is Terence Crawford going to fight otherwise? Let's look at it. Errol Spence Jr., as we know, is tied up right now. You know, he's on get back mode. He got into the accident. He has a potential Pacquiao fight on the table. He may end up taking a tune-up fight. So Errol Spence Jr. is kind of tied up right at the moment. Manny Pacquiao, as we know, he recently mentioned Terence Crawford and Errol Spence's name. But we all know Manny Pacquiao, ultimately, he wants the Floyd Mayweather fight. Now, I did see something where Pacquiao wants to fight McGregor, too. So maybe he's doing that to kind of cock block on Floyd Mayweather. You know, Manny Pacquiao has something. He's just got to get Floyd back. You know, so Pacquiao is kind of, I say there's about a 20% chance Pacquiao-Crawford happens. It's almost not going to happen. Danny Garcia, as we know, is continuing his pilgrimage down the easy road, waiting for an opportunity. So there's not too much we could expect from Danny Garcia, even though he's ranked number 1 in the WBO. I'm very interested to see what happens if WBO mandates Crawford versus Garcia. What will Danny do? Because he came out and said that, his dad was coming out saying that, it's not about legacy or belts, is about the money, and they want $10 million. But a year or two ago before that, he was saying Crawford was a nappy head nigga, and walking around the amateurs with nappy hair, and Danny will beat your ass, and you come up to we bet $1 million on it if you come in 147, come up to 147 Crawford, talking all kinds of shit. But comes up to 147, now they singing a whole different song. So we can't expect too much from Danny. He's doing his thing. He's on his pilgrimage down the easy road. Keith Thurman, he broke a nail again. So we may not see him till May or June, and then it's going to be another tune-up fight. And, Keith Thurman is pretty much out the door, okay? His desire, his fire, the vigoration that he once had, that shit is gone. He's ice cold right now. Errol Spence took all that away. Errol Spence took away all his momentum and his juice. And he's looking pretty big right now. So I don't expect no fight with Keith Thurman. Then we hearing things about Jose Ramirez, who has a fight with Victor Postal coming up. They're talking about feeding him to Crawford. Now they just signed Josh Taylor, so they also likely want to do that fight first. If Ramirez get past Postal, they want to do a unification between Ramirez and Taylor. Then that fight would be much bigger for Crawford for them to feed him. That'd be a bigger plate for Crawford to eat off of. Then we got Regis Prograis, who's been kind of vocal about facing Crawford. I just heard that he got a fight possibly coming up against Maurice Hooker, who's also a friend and stablemate of Terence Crawford. So that may lure Crawford into a fight with Regis Prograis if he was to beat up his boy. So that's a fight Crawford could possibly have. Regis Prograis just needs to get a win. You don't want to really fight a guy coming off a loss. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who else we got? Jamal James, I'm not sure what he's doing right now. Dennis Ugas, he was looking like one of the guys that's going to be getting a title shot soon. Maybe he got promised one or something. But he's going to be fighting a guy named Mike Dallas, who a lot of you guys probably never heard of. But Mike Dallas fought Lucas Matisse years ago, back when Matisse was the machine. He got knocked out by Matisse, and we haven't seen him really since. He's going to be fighting him in Mississippi. It's kind of weird that they got a Cuban guy fighting in Mississippi when they should just have him in Miami or somewhere close to Miami, where the Cuban population is pretty thick. Who else we got? Josecito Lopez, who was acting like he wanted to smoke, but I'm hearing behind the scenes that he turned down Sergey Lipinets. And Sergey Lipinets is supposed to be fighting the guy that beat Luis Collazo. I can't pronounce the guy's name, Akardiyov or whatever his name is. He beat Luis Collazo in the 10th round, stoppage from a cut. So he's going to be fighting Sergey Lipinets for IBF interim fight, I believe. Both guys want to fight, so that's going down. And I believe the winner will be the next in line to face Errol Spence Jr. Okay? So it's really... Crawford really don't got too many options as of now. Maybe he could fight a Patrick Teixeira, the 154-pound WBO champion who just beat Carlos Adames, a guy that Crawford was sparring years ago in Gleason's gym. Crawford sparred two guys. Adames was the second guy. This Adames guy got beat by Patrick Teixeira. They was thinking about feeding him to Crawford. Patrick Teixeira is a Brazilian dude. There's not too many Brazilians in boxing. He's tall, 6 feet tall, got like a 76.5-inch reach, I believe. Tall dude, rangy. Could get Crawford a lot of trouble. It'll be his 4th weight class. So that's another fight Crawford could possibly have. Mikey Garcia, he ran off down he took the safe route to the zone. There's nobody for him to fight over there. They bring in Jesse Vargas down from 154. That just goes to show you they have nobody over there. Mikey literally just over there just to collect paydays. Forget about him too. You know what I'm saying? So, fight Jaron Ennis. The young guy. He got a lot of talent. He got... it'll be a fun fight. I think Bud beats him pretty badly, honestly, especially now. But I think the longer Crawford waits around, if he makes this kid go off and, do something first, he goes out and does it, and then next thing you know, you look up, you're 35 years old, 34 years old, you're kind of slowing down a little bit, not quite though, and then he's your mandatory, and then this fight just got a lot closer than it would have been, today. Fight Virgil Ortiz, too. Get him out the way. They may mandate that sooner or later because we know Danny Garcia ain't about to try to fight Crawford. Even if it's mandated, he ain't going to do it. He going the WBC route anyway. He's looking for Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? So he's not, he see Errol Spence is more vulnerable than he wants to start. He see that Errol Spence is there to be hit. He see Errol Spence is less mobile than Crawford. So Danny Garcia is looking to take the easy route. And that's Errol Spence. I'm sorry to say it. Yes, Errol Spence is the easy route. He's not as disciplined as Crawford. He's not as skilled as Crawford. He don't have as much experience as Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It's an easier stylistic matchup for Danny, so he's waiting for that. He's licking his chops. I honestly hope Errol Spence kicks his ass if that fight does happen. But that's what Danny Garcia is doing. He's sitting back, waiting around for guys like Sean Porter, the Marine, the Marine, the guy who's standing on the front lines to go out there and show these guys how it's done. And then they follow the blueprint, get the architect, write the blueprint out, get the map laid out, and then they want to go out and fight him now. They don't want to fight these guys first. They want to wait till somebody else go ahead and, show them how it's done, and then they want to go ahead and step into the fray. Man, I ain't buying that bullshit. But I think Terence Crawford should go ahead and fight Jaron Ennis, fight Virgil Ortiz, and get these young guys out the way, teach them a lesson. The good thing about it is Jaron Ennis gets an opportunity. He gets a lot of experience, win or lose. And it may make him a much better fighter. The bad thing is it could possibly damage him as a fighter, and he may never be the same. So there's always that. And the ugly thing is, it's probably about the same as the bad. You calling out a guy that you poking at the hornet's nest with a guy like Terence Crawford, and I'm not sure if you really want that. Terence Crawford is a pretty mean motherfucker. What I'm saying? Especially when you kind of push him and, that's going to be an ugly fight for Jaron Ennis. But I would like to see it. Like I said, if you asked me a year or two ago, I would have told you, nah, don't throw the kid in there yet. But nah, man, it's open season now. These guys looking for the smoke, teach them a lesson. Show them what it's like to be in there with a guy that's considered the pound-for-pound best in the world. Show them what it's like to be in there with a champion. Show them what it feel like to be under the big lights. Tell me what you guys think about this fight. Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.